Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, everybody. This is Encounters, a spiritual UFO talk show here on TikTok. The number one talk show, spiritual UFO talk show on social media. I'm CmdrAleon. We normally are on at 11 p.m. in the evening. We're trying to do some morning shows here for people that have not seen us before. Hey, Jenny Viola. Good morning. Good morning, Lacey. We're very spontaneous about the morning. Today is Wednesday, and we are live here all over the world on Encounters. Good morning, Gerard. Good to see you. Stolen your food. Thank you for the likes. Please go to my Venmo account on my profile. My link for Venmo is my Cash App to make direct donations in the work we're doing here for the planet on our TV program here, our TikTok program, Gypsy 88 Mermaid. Good morning. Kearns, good morning. Carmen Pope. All the people coming in here. Hey, good morning, Lacey. Good morning, Dana Kelly. JP, good morning to you. Steve Alexander, good morning. Kenyon Gamble. I try to get some of the names. Sonic, the Hedgehog, Stolen Your Food. Joseph Restit, I think it is. TS, welcome to the show. Forrest Nymph. Good to have all these people coming in here. Maria 111, thanks for the likes. And we do have our apple cider this morning. I have some ambient space music in the background. This is just beautiful. This sound is just really beautiful. Let me bring it up. Alexa, increase the volume. Okay, that's good. You can hear the music in the background. Love and Light Tall, that's right. J Bod, welcome. And if you're new to the show, you're going to watch a show that's out of this world. It really truly is. And again, there's nothing like it on YouTube, anywhere. You see, because on Encounters, unlike other long-time UFO shows on YouTube and wherever, we don't wear suits and ties. We don't talk nuts and bolts here. We have real things happening. We have people having encounters, people having visitations, people sharing their experiences. Last night's show is on my YouTube channel. Just to let you know, I do have a YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News, all our encounter shows. If you missed any of them from the night shows that we do, you can watch all those shows on my YouTube channel when you get a chance, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. So welcome to the show here this morning. We'll be on here till about 10:30, an hour and a half. That's pretty good. Paul Cazelli, welcome to the show. Thank you for the likes, Paul. Alan, welcome to Encounters. Everybody coming in here, please share and like. We'd like to get up to as many likes as we can. And we might just do some interviews this morning. We're not sure who's going to be on here this morning. Jeff Whitlock, Kit Kat. Hey, good morning, Kit Kat. And you probably don't know, we talked about it last night, the big event. There are two main events that are happening here in the United States, in Connecticut. And these are contact events. The first one is going to be April 13th. That'll be the first event. Good morning, Desiree. And we're going to be doing a C5 Astro Command contact program and an apple orchard. TK, welcome to the show. And we're planning to have some very interesting things hopefully happen. We'll be broadcasting live that night at around 8 o'clock in the evening, April 13th, here on Encounters. And this is going to be a C5 edition. Jiminy, I don't need convincing. I saw one in broad daylight, no drugs, no alcohol. Beautiful. That's what we like to hear. Things like that are really, really important. And as we get amped up here, as we go into the whole procession of contact for everybody, contact is only going to increase all over the world for different groups. And as you get your groups together, hey SM Lake, you will learn how to connect with your star family, all of you. So on the 13th and on the 20th, the big event in the United States will be at the Dragon's Egg in Ledyard. Hey, good to see you, Cory. Cory says, I've been dealing with him every night for 2 years, and I have some very crazy videos and pictures. Oh, I'd like to take a look at those. So if you wish to send me your footage, I'm going to put my email on the comment section here. Hopefully it shows up. Okay, we're going to just do this here. This is my email. Send any footage, any good footage, videos you have, Cory, to my email, and I'll definitely review them for my Ashtar Spaceship News page. Steve, welcome. DXRX or DXRK. Daisy, my dog, welcome. Scrum, welcome. Israel Washington 925. Duncan in History, or Drunken in History, maybe. Kathy H, welcome to the show. Phyllis, welcome. Can you imagine receiving an Egyptian artifact and information about your race being exterminated? Samuel, that's an interesting comment. Very interesting. Val, welcome to the show. Jose, I think it is. Jacka. Sam Lundstead. Everybody, hello. Good morning. Holistic Hero. Danielle, welcome, Danielle. Lady Linda. Everyone that hosts the Hero, like Brian R. Sharon. Apple user. Paulette. We'd like to acknowledge people here if we can. Miguel. Brett, the guitar hero. That sounds like he's a guitarist. Pat Hayden. Hey, 12DC. JR Page. Katrina. GR Head. Scott Iyer. Rick. I'm just acknowledging people. Jeffrey. Steve M. Lear. Hey, Steve. Good to have you all with us here on Encounters. If you're new to the show, hey, Randy. Our show is usually a nighttime show. It's we got a lot of people at nighttime, a big audience. Hey, Freedom, good morning. And we are trying to educate people that we have this show on here, which is mostly nightly at 11 p.m. Eastern. So if you're new to this show, you're watching a show that is like the #1 spiritual UFO show on social media. Jacka, welcome. John Baker, 9430. Let me give some background about who I am for new people. I never assume anything anywhere. So I'm the talk show host for 21 years on NPR Radio, Ashtar Command Radio Show, for 21 years. I'm still doing it for 21 years now. And it's Ashtar Command Radio, Cosmic Eye Radio. It's a show every Sunday morning at 11:30 a.m., broadcasting all over the world on the radio side. And then I have my TikTok here, which I came on to early 2023. So I've been on here since 2023 into 2024. And I'm also from Mars. So I'm a starseed. When I use the definition of starseed, saying, well, he's from Mars. I came here on mission to Earth with the Ashtar Galactic Command before there was any internet, before there was any TikTok or Facebooks or websites. So I've been working with the command for many, many years. I do workshops where I take people onto a golden ship of light. I'll be starting that up this year again in the Northeast in Connecticut. And we take them on a journey to keep a journal of what their experiences are. And the golden ship of light is the intergalactic point for many of the different spiritual beings that come there. And that is the main vessel where people meet. That's where council meetings are held of intergalactic peaceful civilizations. So I take people on a journey to that ship. It's way beyond the Earth, way out there, and it's real. And then I bring them back into their physical body, so they go into a Merkaba state. If you don't know what a Merkaba state is, it's when you leave your body and become a living ship to travel in a bubble to where you're going. Okay. So I'm like a cosmic book in a way. I don't channel. I don't read palms. I don't have I don't read cards. I don't do anything. I don't have pendulums telling you what yes or no answers there are. What I do is I'm a direct link up. I'm a telepathic communicator with the Ashtar Command. But I'm also a talk show host. So I've been a contactee since the 60s. I had direct contact with space people in the mid 60s. And I've had numerous spaceship sightings since the 60s, including two that were, one of which was as big as 2 football fields, about 1,000, maybe 2,000 feet above the ground. And so I just wanted to give you a sort of a bio of me. I don't assume everybody knows who I am. I do that even on my nighttime show. I think it's good to do that, to be sharing that information so people know what they're getting into about what I do. UFO communications is 1420 to 1450. Interesting. Electromagnetic energy. So that might be something you want people want to write down. 1420 to 4050 gigahertz. Interesting. Oh, hello, secure, definitely. I always believe that I never assume anything. Even with my radio show for 21 years, there's always new people all over the world watching or not watching. I'm also live on YouTube, on TikTok, Sunday mornings when I do my radio show on WESUFM.org. Wheels Electric Vehicles, welcome. Welcome all the new people coming in here. Oh, you're an RF engineer. Oh, pretty cool, man. Very cool. Hey, Jules, welcome. Rabbit Skills, that's a good name. Anunnaki. So as you watch this, hey, connoisseur, as you watch this show, who are genetically engineered? I don't know. Proto-humans? I don't know about that. But I do know that many, many people come from other planetary systems. Many humans come from other star systems, you don't remember it. And the beautiful part about this is at some point, people are going to wake up. They are waking up. I've interviewed many people on my show here in the last year that remember who they are, that they're star seeds, that remember that they come from a star family beyond Earth. So, and we also are here to bust the matrix. So as you learn to watch this show, you're going to see that I, in every way, bust the matrix. Everything on Earth, I bust the matrix. Everything on Earth is basically, to me, everything that's been created by man on this planet, every government system, every whatever system, every religion, I bust the matrix. Since where I come from Mars, there is no religion. There is no political parties. There is no shopping malls. There are no weapons of war. There aren't all these separations. It's just pure love and understanding and connection with the Creator. Yes, keep your eyes in the skies, Lacey. And as we come together on this show, and as I interview people, and I do, if you have a story to tell, I have a protocol that we go by. I'm very clear. I work in Christ consciousness, what I call cosmic Christ consciousness. I work in the light in the highest levels possible. One of the things I teach is there's no thing as having a balance of holding both positive and negative energy in your body. That's a cop-out. And the people that teach that are absolutely copping out. What I teach people is you can have a full cup of light if you fill it up. What do I mean by that? If you fill yourself up with light in your whole body, your body's going to light up spiritually, cosmically, and every other way. If you have a belief system that you have to have this and that and have a balance, that's just a belief system. It's not true. When people ask me, but Commander, you have to have the balance. No, you don't have the balance. That's the problem. Either you have a full cup or you have no cup. Full cup or no cup. You choose either you're of the light or you're not when it comes to the ET area. And I'm very, very clear about that in my teachings. No wishy-washy stuff with me. I'm going to tell it the way it is. All these people that say, well, you got to do this. No, that's not the way it works. When galactic ships come here, and they will be coming here, when contact is made with our star family, you're not going to have these star people coming out here and say, well, I'm going to be a little bit negative today, and maybe tomorrow I'll be a little bit nicer. See, this is an Earth-based perception of the way things are, and that's not the way it is. Okay? When contact is made, and it will be, by our star family, our space brothers and sisters who look just like us, believe it or not, beyond all the garbage you see on YouTube and on TikTok and you know, people, I'm breaking that matrix too. You know, when people show images of space people on YouTube, you only see the ugly looking faces of people from another world. You never see the faces of beautiful people. Why is that? Because they've trapped themselves in a thing. Even the people in the UFO media community, their images are always of these ugly looking faces, you know, of these really mean looking ETs. Do you ever see the ones that look like us on documentaries on Discovery or whatever channels? You don't. What's that all about? You know? The majority of the space people, the men and women from other planetary spiritual worlds, look just like us. So if you ever see people showing images of bad things, of evil-looking ETs, don't watch their stuff. Because they're in a matrix. They're stuck in a belief system somehow that they've attained through watching all this garbage on TV. You know? I am happy today. That's a good name. How does one find out which star family we are originated from? That start comes with going into meditation. Now, that might seem cliche, the word meditation, but it begins with meditation. It begins with finding a space, whether it's in the woods, on the top of a mountain, at a beach that's empty, sitting there, using the traditional words of Om or You, and repeating those words and going into a state of consciousness where you say to yourself, I wish to, as a Christed being of light, I wish to learn and connect with my star family. And you must be accepting of the Christ in order to contact me. If you're not, please do not contact me. Simple as that. I don't make it complicated. I'm trying to make it simple for people to do this. Good morning, Alexandra. So I am happy. The one thing you want to do is do meditation. You can use ambient music, which I'm using right now on my show. And as you get into that state of frequency, high vibrational patterns of music, you will eventually connect and say, I wish to connect with my spiritual star family. I want to know who they are. I want them to reach out to me. But always use a bubble of protection of Christ consciousness. Christ did put an invisible bubble around you when you're learning how to do this. And as you get into that meditation and you reach out telepathically, quietly say, I wish to reach my star family where I came from. You will eventually have contact. And if you do that, you will make the contact eventually. Whether it's in a day, a week, a month, you will have the contact. Oh. Hey, good morning. You know, so it's really crucial to understand that aspect. And does that answer your question about that? How does I am happy? Oh, you're very welcome. That's part of my mission here on my show, is not just interview people, but I am a teacher. I've done workshops. I have a lot of background in the cosmic, in the positive. So yes. Take care, electromagnetic energy. Could you possibly do this in the... Yes, I could. Me now? Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
That's... Okay. Let me see here. So... Oh. We're going to go over here, actually. We're just moving our camera here into another room. Let's see if we can do this here. I think we can. Actually, we're going to go into a different room here. We're going to go into a different room right here. Sorry about that. Okay, I just have to adjust the camera a little bit. Here we go. Oh, this is much better. So as we proceed to understanding things, if you have any questions, people, please ask me. We certainly would love to interview. If you want to be as a guest on the show, you've had any visitations with star people, UFO sightings that you videotaped, any of those things, we're always interested in hearing from you. Grand Rising, Stormy, good to see you. User, welcome, Lisa Joy. So people that are new to the show, I'm on every night, well, not every night, but most nights at 11 p.m. here on TikTok with Encounters. That's our main airtime. Just deliver. Thank you. Thank you for the roses. We appreciate it. Robert, good morning. Good to see you. All the people, Jessica F. I see all these new people. Pam Talent, Marinee, welcome. Good to see everybody coming in here. Please share and like. And we're going to be on till about 10:30, so we want to amp it up to maybe 50,000 likes. So we only have 3,000. I know we can do better. I always try to get everybody interactive around the world on my show. So if you're not even on the show talking, tap the button. You just tap the screen. That's how you get the likes up. So tap your screen on your phone. And if everybody does that, it'll bring the likes right up to where we want it to be. And again, if you want to come on the show, you need to have 200 followers. That's TikTok's rule, not mine. Etheric, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the heart puff. Thank you, Hectic Loving. Venus, thank you. We appreciate it so much, everybody here. Etheric, thank you so much. So we're here to let you know about disclosure, about what's coming down. We know what's going to be happening in the next 3 years. We know that the beginning of contact is going to start happening. Lee, what's your no answer? Lee, what was your question? Because I didn't see it. Many blessings, Lee. So if I didn't catch something here, because things are going so fast, I didn't see it. User 759, for all be the love and light, then you will see all the way out of the dark. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Etheric, thank you. So in the next 3 years, between now and 2027, massive, I should say not massive, but I was drinking the apple cider down the wrong pipe, but we're okay. But in the next 3 years, what we're going to see is the increased contact individually for people around the world. Some of you have already had contact. Thank you for the confetti. And some of you have not had contact yet, but you will. And one of the things on this show that we are going to be doing for the next 3 years, or even now, is to get people prepared for positive contact. It's time. All these other UFO shows on YouTube or whatever, wherever they are, with their former government officials that used to work for the government, will tell you whatever they want to tell you. We have 2 major events coming up in Connecticut, in the U.S., that are going to be very important. There are groups all over the world that what they call C5 groups, contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, where people have documented and videotaped and vectored in ships and recorded them that have shown up. The events we're doing in Connecticut, I feel, are going to be important in our C5 activity, because we are going to attempt to not only invite the star people that we are connected with to join us, but we're going to see what happens. And we're going to broadcast it here on TikTok. We're going to broadcast it live. You're going to see live on the April 20th and April 13th. You're going to see whatever we see. We're going to be broadcasting it, and our cameras will be facing in towards space as these events happen. Cory, not in Kansas, but you know what? If you download the C5 app, or Dr. Stephen Greer's app, which is like $9.99, there's information how to contact people And also on my show here, we encourage it. If there are other people in Kansas like you, Cory, and they're on my show here watching it, connect with those people. Everybody connect. If you're in the same state, connect with each other. Get to know each other. We're really about community here in terms of bringing people together. And if you connect with each other, you'll be able to form a C5 group where you live. We're very strong about that. And I've been a C5 coordinator, and my friend Grace has been very involved for a long time, and a number of other people in our group here in Connecticut and New England for a lot of years. For us, it's been over 11 years. So anyone who's interested in positive contact with star people or star beings through their spaceships appearing, you need to learn about C5 protocol. And you can do that by downloading, if you have an iPhone, download the app for C5, which is, you can get the app right on Google Play if you're an Android phone. I think iPhones is Apple. You download the app, read the protocol, learn about the protocol. Learn about the protocol, And if you learn about the protocol, it will make a big difference. Protocol, it will make a big difference. Let me just move the camera here for a minute. Let me just move the camera here for a minute. Let me see here. Someone's saying, trying to reach all the comments here. Wait a minute, am I missing some comments? Okay, it's truly wild around my place. The sky is full of them night, and they always come down. Let me see if I can get Cory on here. So we're going to follow Cory. Cory, we're going to follow you here. And interesting. Samuel Lambert says, can you imagine being hunted by the Knights Templars? Huh. Why would they follow you and have clouds come down day and night? If you're being followed by spaceships, it's probably because you're connected with them. I'd have to get a better read on what's happening with you. But most likely it's because you're connected with them. What you need to do if they're following you is learn. I don't know if you meditate, Cory, or not, but you need to just sit down quietly and meditate and ask, who are you? The main thing you ask is, are they Christed beings of light? And they have to answer the question. They can be done telepathically. They're not like verbally speaking it out. You're going to be quietly saying in your consciousness. Everything is consciousness, communications. You'll say, are you Christed beings of light? Why are you following me? And you might get a telepathic response, because that's how it works. So, Cub BB, beautiful blessings to you as well. Millennium, welcome to the show. Lots of triangles. Yeah, I'd like to know. Oh, you've done it many times. Interesting. You should come on my, I'd like to get you on live here, but for some reason, I'm not able to do that. I don't know why it is. You have enough people on here to go live with me, but on the TikTok, it only shows that you cannot do that. I don't know why it is. You have enough people on here to go live with me, but on the TikTok, it only shows that you cannot do it. They've landed right in front of you. Oh, turn it into public, Cory. Turn it into public, and then I can bring you on as a guest. That's why I can't bring you on. Right. Very true. User 759. Nothing or no one can stop the love flow from us ever again. It's glitching. Let me see if I can go into another space here. It might be where I am. Let me take a look here. And we're going to see if this works here. We're going to try to do this here. Hopefully it's not glitching now. Can you hear me, folks? I'm not going to talk really loud. But if you can hear me, here we go. I have a very loud voice in here. So let me see if I can, Cory, if you switch it to public, I'll be able to get you on live here. That should be working better. Now things are working pretty good. Okay, sounds good. I want to hear Cory's story. I've seen more ships to last me a lifetime. Interesting, Samuel. And some people here are having constant contact with the non-terrestrial people or beings that are visiting them. Some people are connected so much so to a specific group of star people that they have constant sightings. Scott Hammonds, good to see you. Good morning. Sandra, thanks for the follow. We appreciate it. And we are at 7,000 likes. We know we can get up to, I'm going to do like 50,000 today. 40 to 50,000. So that means if you don't know how to do this, you tap your screen with your finger. Everybody taps their screen and it brings my numbers up on the likes. That's how you do it. How do I like Commander's show? You keep tapping. Everyone just get used to tapping the screen. So you'll see the hearts going up as you tap. That increases the likes on the show this morning. Okay? Hey, young Skywalker, good to see you. I'm a simple, normal man. That's a beautiful thing. And you know what? That's a good thing, but you're not just a simple, normal man. You're probably a star. You're probably a starseed. Let's see here. Destiny Marie, thanks for the likes. Daisy, thank you. Mercury Man, good morning. Trina Blue, thank you. Daisy, thanks for joining us. You're watching Encounters, normally with a late night spiritual UFO talk show at 11 o'clock. Retrick, hey, good to see you. Thank you for the roses. Our bigger show, we have a big audience at night, but we're trying to come on in the morning so you have something worthwhile to watch on TikTok instead of people gaming on here and hitting their head against a rubber ball or something. Hey, Trina, good to see you. And I'm just reading comments. Control your beautiful love life flows for you, and others will control yours for them. The Spiritual Spot. Good to see you, Spiritual Spot. It's been a while. So we're trying to really increase the knowledge of the show in the morning when we can get on here. We see a void in the mornings during the day. I can't always do it in the morning. At night, I'm really on it. I'm really been a night person. So it's sort of like that's where we are. But yeah, we try to do some morning stuff. And hopefully more people will know about us when we come on. We don't have a regular schedule in the morning as nighttime at 11 o'clock nightly. You can watch our show. And it is recorded. So if you miss a nighttime show and you're on the morning, just go to my YouTube channel, Astro Command Spaceship News on YouTube. And I'll be back. I'm the doctor's away. Oh, okay, young Skywalker. Hey, Kim, welcome to the show. Dig Deep, I like that. Terry Berry, welcome to the show. Eddie Johnson, welcome to Encounters. Good to have everybody with us. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, I hope he feels better. Thank you for all the shares there, Valerie. I appreciate it. And if you wish to share the live with people that you think would be interested in Encounters, in a show on spiritual UFO areas, we deal with everything from fairies, hey Janice, thank you for the roses, to Bigfoot, crop circles, people that have been visited by space people, UFO sightings, this whole gamut. To be on the show, you have to be over 18, no foul language, no cursing, no drinking, no drugs, no vaping or anything on the show if you're going to come on live, and no paranormal stuff. There's like 10,000 other people on TikTok that deal with the paranormal. We don't do it here. Strictly on the cosmic level, that's what we do. Pink Lady, welcome to our show. Carol's 1982, White Dog Detroit, welcome. Courtney, hey, good to see you, Courtney. Kim, thanks for joining us. Sure Buck, I think it is. Emel Sings. Blake Lawson. Hey, Blake. Buddha, I think it's Bud. Well, Buddha Bud, I think it's Bud. Cory, welcome. Cory's back. We're going to see if we can get Cory on here. We're going to attempt to bring him on here. And I think we can. So what's going to happen is Cory's going to be able to come on with audio on my show here this morning. Cory, if you see the invite button on guests, accept my invitation. There'll be like a screen popping up for you.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to the show on Encounters, Cory. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, I reckon.
Oh, there you go. And I was reading all your comments of your things going on. So let's get into it a bit. Tell us where you're in Kansas, I guess, right?
Yes, sir. I'm in southeast Kansas, about 2 miles from the Oklahoma border.
Okay. So can you tell us? I'm very fascinated by your story. Can you tell us when things started happening with these sightings?
Well, it was just about 2 years ago, or just over 2 years ago, I guess. Um, I don't know what was going on, but we went outside to see what was going on. Kept seeing a bunch of bright lights and seen something that looked like a something round in the sky, but it was it was doing weird stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
it even had legs on it that was like 60, 70 foot long. They had what I called either talons or rope lights that appeared to be about 200 foot long that were white and red or like a bluish greenish color.
Mm-hmm.
We had one fly about 4 foot over the top of my shop.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah. Well, there's should be a video at a church that following morning because I ended up getting burnt by something. I've got pictures
Really?
of I've got pictures of the grid that they were building.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like it was silk,
Hmm.
and it didn't make no sense to me because I didn't even believe in this stuff at the time. But I seen something go across and didn't know what it was. So I tried to change my line of sight so hopefully I could hide from it, but see which direction it went because it didn't make no sense. If I was
Mm-hmm.
drinking or drugging or doing something, I might would have
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah.
It just didn't make no sense to me whatsoever.
Huh.
And I was wearing my flip flops, and when I did, I ended up hitting that on both ankles. And within 30 minutes, my legs swelled up so freaking big. It
Yeah.
was it was crazy. I mean, crazy, crazy.
Now you're talking about this. This is interesting. You just said something. You're watching Encounters, and we have Cory on the show. You're from Kansas. Something about getting burned. How did that happen?
Well, that's um, I hit something that looked like silk. That I've got videos of it of where they were
Huh.
building some kind of grid up there. I even got a video of where they're pulling something over the top of that grid, and it's when they get past me, you can see that it's an arch shape
Hmm.
that was on it. And what was weird was when you'd look in the sky, you could see this big old cluster of what looked like stars. But
Mm-hmm.
on my security system, it looked square, like almost like a concrete block, one of them big concrete
Mm-hmm.
blocks that they use for barricades
Yeah.
that they were tying it to.
That's really
And,
interesting.
and they
So
went
do you
vertical.
think
They went
vertical?
vertical and horizontal, and everything is a perfect 90-degree angle where they
Now,
cross.
when you say they, are you talking about the extraterrestrials?
Yes. Well, and
Okay.
the silk that they were or whatever that it looked like silk. I don't know. All I know is it burnt like hell. It felt like I got hit with a million needles.
Really? This is
It was
interesting.
horrible.
And
And
it sounds like, obviously, it doesn't sound good.
matter of fact, my skin on the side of my ankles are still blackish color from it.
Really?
It
So this doesn't look like a very positive thing in terms of the beings that are doing this, correct?
Well, that's kind of
Or,
well, when I first thought about it, that's kind of where I went. For one, not knowing what they are, not believing in them, and then getting this, we
mhm,
start shooting at them, literally shooting at them. We stopped counting drones at like 500 one night that came down on us. None of the drones make a sound. They were shaped about the like a football, but
hmm,
about the size of a baseball.
hmm,
the triangle, I was chasing one that very next morning in the daylight. Everything was headed back west. It didn't make no sense, but it was only maybe 150, 200 foot off the ground and headed west. And I kept trying to go Facebook Live 14, 15 times, and it kept shutting my phone down in an area that I've
Really?
never, ever had problems with my phone ever going live.
Hmm.
And it pissed me off. So I jumped in my truck and I tore butt 3 miles west of me to this little town called Tyro, Kansas. And I
Hmm.
slide up in the parking lot and I jump out because he's literally right across from me now. As soon as I jump out and try to start videoing, he takes off like a bat out of hell. Something told
Well,
me
we're
to
talking
look
about the
up.
spaceship.
Yeah, yeah, the thing that I was talking about that had the
Yeah.
tentacle looking things. It takes off
Yeah.
like a bat out of hell, and there was at least 7 or 8 of them, and there's at least that many every night. But
Every night.
every
Hmm.
night for at least 2 years now, at least
Wow.
two. And I've got multiple people. Matter of fact, I've got a person here with me right now that can verify that it's no joke.
Hmm.
Last night, matter of fact, I went out to feed some chickens and
Hmm.
pull in. It's dark. The sky's lit up. The stars are everywhere. What look like
Yeah.
stars, and
Yeah.
then they disappear. Well, then they come
Huh.
down. Or I'll walk outside and it's pitch black, nothing in the sky whatsoever, and then all of a sudden there's a million lights, and then they'll disappear, or they'll come down.
That's
But they've never. Well, back to the deal, the church deal.
yeah.
When he took off, something told me to look up, so I look up, and I don't know, there's about 6 or 7 different sizes of triangles that I've noticed that come down,
Okay.
and
These are How big are the triangular ships?
they are going. The ones that I've seen will range from probably, my guess is probably 15, 20 foot, um,
Hmm.
on the two long sides,
Yeah.
and probably 5 foot shorter or 5 foot longer on the back, up to a couple of 100 feet.
Do you think they're coming from a cloaked larger spaceship, or what's your perception of that?
That's what I don't know because they come in pairs. Every single one of them's been in twos in a pair.
Hmm. Hmm.
And they come down almost in the exact same area every single night. There'll be some that
Hmm.
comes down in the west side of my shop and out here in front
Hmm.
of my shop. But
Hmm.
we've had them come down in the daytime. Not well, the triangle at the church was the only one, but he threw out some kind of rope and some. I thought it was a white rocket at the end of it at first, but
When
when
you
it
say
came
he, when you say he threw out the rope, can you
the
define
triangle, the
the
triangle
triangle
thing,
spaceship
yeah,
threw
when
out
it opened
something
up.
that you? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it opened up a hole in the bottom of it with jaggedy little lines, and then it just tossed out an orangish reddish color rope.
Hmm.
And when it came down, it just came down real smooth and stops. And then you hear a tch, and then all of a sudden you see these little things popping out. Nothing else made a sound. They start coming down. There's probably 40 to 50 of them. They
Wow.
they come down, and so I'm still looking up, and I'm probably 15 foot or so away from my truck, the camera up
Hmm.
above me, and looking at him, and I'm talking trash to him by then because I'm like, what am I going to do? If they're this good, they're going to nail me. So I'm not going to be a coward and turn tail and run.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
going to sit here and hold my ground. Well, for a while, anyways, because I'm sitting here talking trash to these ones, and the way I describe it to people is that movie Short Circuit with that little robot that runs around. Uh, Johnny Five, I think it
I
was,
don't. I don't
in his
remember any of those
eyeball.
movies, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's back in the I think early mid '80s, late early '90s, something like that. It's just a
Hmm.
goofy movie that I remember as a kid, but I don't even watch
Yeah.
TV no more. But it's got a big old photo eye on it. It looks like a
Yeah.
lens. The whole bottom
Okay.
of those drones, that's all that was there.
Hmm.
Well, whenever I was looking at the ones in front of me, I went ahead and turned around because I wanted to see where all the others went because I knew there was more than that. They were
Yeah.
coming down. They were coming down.
They were
When I
coming down. This is.
Yeah, they were
Go
coming
ahead.
closer to me. Whenever I turned to look at them, the ones that I was looking at previously, they started coming down. So every time I would turn around, the ones that I could not see would come down. They got
Hmm.
probably 10 to 15 foot above me, and that's when I said, ah, bullshit, I'm getting in the truck. And it's been hell ever since. You can go on my F book page, and
So, let me ask you something, Cory. This is Encounters. This is an incredible story, folks. You're watching Encounters, the morning edition of Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, host of our nighttime show, Encounters, which is usually nighttime. And we're talking to Cory in Kansas, and he's been having for 2 years straight out, every day and night, these things happening. Have you? And I'm getting that these smaller objects are being sent down by a big mothership or some sort of a ship that is way up there that you cannot see. Would you agree with that?
yeah, that'd have to be because we have seen things that we're guessing is probably 700 to 900 feet. We've watched them
Mm-hmm.
disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we've, but they've seen, we've watched, and I brought a witness because it got to the point in that first 3 or 4 months after not believing in this stuff, everything that happened
Mm-hmm.
from, like I was just fixing to say, the headless guy that was on my roof, that his head's bouncing around out in the sky, and then it comes to the edge of the
You're
roof,
right.
and this thing bends down and grabs it and brings it back to him. It's
Mm-hmm.
posted on my Facebook page under Cory S. Truitt. Go check it out. It is very
Mm-hmm.
freaky to invisible people that the cameras check catching on it, to
Mm-hmm.
green rocks that are floating that come to my
Mm-hmm.
door, to a fighter, what looked like apparently a white fighter jet that had to have had um, jet powered in it because when he banked back up to miss the shop, that's when he finally made some noise and he took off like a bat out of hell.
Now let me just explain something. When Cory says he took off, can you? We're talking about the drone, correct?
Well, no, well, whatever the hell it was. It looked like a fighter jet, a white. It looked like something our military would have had.
Okay, so now how big was that?
Excuse me.
How big was that thing that looked like a fighter jet?
I, I'm gonna say 6 to 8 inches because the first time I'd seen it, I opened my door to walk outside and I looked to the west, and it's about 4 foot off the ground, right at the corner of my shop, or actually my living quarters on my shop,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and the wind's blowing from the south, 12 to 15 mile an hour. It
Hmm.
wasn't registering yet, but I see this thing just coming directly towards me, going super slow. I'm talking 2 mile an hour, 3 mile an hour. And I'm just
Hmm.
thinking, it didn't even register what it was at first. I thought it was some trash blowing, but then,
Hmm.
common sense kicked in and like, I mean, the wind's blowing 12 to 15 mile an hour. How the hell is the trash only moving two? And how's it
Right.
holding the air level? But it
So with all
comes
this
straight.
stuff, with all that, and this is an amazing story. If you're not watching this show right now, folks, you're missing on an amazing story from Cory out in Kansas. And I've never heard a story like this ever. So he's having all this stuff happen. Have you ever tried to figure out, or do you think that possibly these drones are able to be communication devices? That if they're looking at you, I believe they're probably physical beings on a larger ship that are sending these things down to you for 2 years. Have you
Yeah.
had any encounters with physical beings from this whole thing happening or not yet?
Well, as far as personal encounters,
Yeah,
no. We've had the video of the headless horse or the headless person on the roof that reached down to grab his head, and then we've had a silhouette of something that was probably, we're going to say 12, 13 foot tall, but I've taken pictures with my phone a million times,
yeah.
and I've probably got 2 or 300 pictures of little
Wow.
green things that's in the sky should be black with something that may look weird in it, and you blow it up a little bit, and there's so many colors on it, and it may be
Yeah,
plumb full of green people
yeah.
or
Green
gray
people. And
or,
these
or
green
gray.
people or whatever, gray people, or
Yeah.
so do you think so gray would be like a Zeta? Did you have like an idea of what the bodies looked like? So I'm trying to give people more of an idea of the physicality. When you say green, what did they look like to you?
Well, the first thing we always say is, "Oh shit, look at those! Those are aliens," because they had the big beady, or almost like a grasshopper, maybe. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't know. Like I said, I
You're not
never
sure.
believed in this stuff, so I'm still learning. I've learned
Yeah,
way more than I ever dreamed I would ever dreamed
yeah.
of knowing, but it's it's an every night affair. And
Every night affair, folks.
I've had people come out here that didn't believe me,
Mm-hmm.
and once they come out one time, they
Think
leave
has.
scared to death and they will not come back at night.
Yeah. So you're having, it looks like these particular space people are not of a high vibration. They have the ability of technology, but it seems like, do you have any understanding why for 2 years you've been actually interfered with by what I don't think are very, very good people or beings because of what
Well,
they're doing?
I and they haven't personally done anything harmful. I was thinking the same way you was. That's why we started
Okay.
shooting at them to begin with, because I'm like, hey, what are you doing
And
here?
let me ask you a question. You were saying you would start shooting at them. Did they? So this is always an interesting, I mean, question. You were saying, and I'm thinking this out here. I've been doing radio for 21 years on the subject, and I still do. So my question is to you: were you shooting at them out of fear, the physical objects, or is that? I mean, were you
We
afraid, and
were
that's why you're
we were shooting at physical objects that you could see. It was so
right?
bad that I even called my sheriff's department out here, and the
Really?
sheriff's department would not come on the property.
They wouldn't come on the property. Did
No,
they
they
say
would.
why they wouldn't come on the property?
No, but of course, my brother went to Iraq, and he had when he came back, he had his flight jacket, and he gave
Hmm.
it to me. So I had it on just for protection, because the reason why I even called him was because I got
Yeah.
pissed. Three drones came down and zipped one of my old German shepherds,
Oh,
and
really? That's not
and
good.
yeah, and it pissed me off. So, well, in the beginning. They did not want me outside for nothing. If I came outside, there was hell. A
Oh,
buddy and
you
I
mean
was
the drones didn't want you outside. These objects
well,
want you to
the
stay
drones,
inside.
the drones, you can see them being discharged from whatever's up higher,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times you can see them. You'll see what looks
Mm-hmm.
like a star, and then you'll see a little red light that starts flashing, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because my guess is, not knowing much about this stuff, is even though they'll go high frequency, so they're invisible, but they still got to have marker lights because there's still a mass
Yeah.
there, and
Now,
they can't fly.
do you think, Corey, and this is encounters that we're on this morning. We're not always on in the morning. We're usually on at 11 o'clock. So my question is for you, and someone mentioned it. Rod mentioned it. Do you think it's possibly our military, like a secret program, and for some reason you're like the focus point of it? I can't. I'm just trying to get a grasp on this for our people watching this because it's a
Well,
fascinating story.
if that was the case, I wouldn't have gotten called into, example, the head honcho for the Corps of Engineers to contract work for them. I wouldn't have gotten contracts with the railroads, the pipelines.
Hmm.
I'm not. I don't go out causing trouble. I'm self-employed. I've been
Yeah,
self-employed all my life. They have no
yeah,
reason. I don't hang around hoodlums or trash. Most of my friends are the upper class business owners. I
I
don't hang
gotcha.
around. I don't hang around a bunch of people, and I damn
Yeah.
sure don't hang around the lower side
No,
of
and
it.
that wasn't the point. The point was more or less, like when people talk about these stories, and yours is the most incredible story I've ever heard in this realm.
It gets
You said they haven't like physically hurt you or whatever, whoever they are, they haven't physically hurt you for the last 2 years, correct?
well, yeah. The thing that I was talking about earlier, when I got burnt by what appeared to be silk, just a string of silk, that was not. They didn't do that maliciously. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't them. Whatever the hell
Okay.
that was pulling it. The way I explain it is, it looked like a or a pop can that somebody spray painted black,
Yeah.
and it was coming straight across, no noise, no nothing. And once it
Mm-hmm.
got past me, I seen a little bitty tiny red light on the back.
Really?
Well, I could see the silk stuff glistening from the moon, and I don't know when it came around the house if it seen me there, because I just got home. I was standing out there on my in my driveway, because I live out in the
Mm-hmm.
country, and my
Oh, you
driveway's
live in the country.
yeah, I'm 3 4. My driveway's 3 400 foot long, and it was a stressful day. So, and it was decent out. So I'm standing over on the edge of my parking spots where I've got edged out with railroad ties, and I'm standing on it, just smoking, looking to the south, just trying to
Yeah.
decompress before I go inside.
How
Finish my
far,
shift.
Corey, how far are you away from, this is Encounters for those just tuning in, nighttime show Encounters on this morning. We're interviewing Cory as our guest this morning on the show. And can you tell us, are there any Air Force or military bases near you?
Well, ever since this has happened, I got a hold of some people in that field, and
You have.
they won't talk. They shut me down instantly, and they don't want to hear nothing about it.
Really?
They cannot. They said that we do not discuss nothing. I don't want to hear no more about it. Don't even talk to me about it. And get
Really?
ready.
That was their response.
Yeah, I mean, really, really, really strong. And these are good people, and they're good friends. That they're good people, but they just instantly shut me down. And I thought they were pissed off at me, but there's more to it than
Right.
that. They
So that tells me something right there, Corey. I
if
got, I,
if I'm shooting at my military or our military, do you think I'd be sitting here talking to you right now after 2 years?
no, but I'm saying when I ask that question, it says it tells 1,000 stories right there. The fact that
They
they shut it down, they don't want to talk about it. They probably know what's going on and they know what it is.
they had to because that was just a report up in Lawrence, Kansas, which is 100 and something miles north of me, up by Kansas City, Topeka area.
Hmm.
Um, there was video and a report of one that was at least a half mile wide
Really?
that was visible during the day. Just 2 weeks,
Wow.
and then all of this started when well, I even called the place where you report the UFOs. And then the
Hmm.
dude wanted me to fill out some big old report and send him stuff. And I'm like, man, that's your job. I'm just calling to tell you to get your ass over here because they're here.
Right.
I'm not going to do your
Right.
work for you. And he's like, well, if you want your
Right.
name in this deal here and that deal, I don't care about my name. I'm just telling you if
Right.
something's here. You better come check it
You're,
out.
you're trying to share what's going on. You don't care
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
the name.
But
So go ahead.
west of me, probably 75, 80 miles. Well, it's a little more than that, probably, is Wichita, Kansas. And
Hmm.
there is a no fly zone over there. Well,
Wait, there's a no-fly zone where? Can you go over that again?
75, 80 miles west of me,
And
directly
why
west.
is that? Why is there no fly zone?
Well, there is an Air Force base over there, but that's the first I've ever heard of no fly zone over there. However,
Hmm.
everything was going west in the beginning, and like I say, you could physically see them of a morning. Every morning they would leave after the sun was up. They went in layers. They would start off say 500 to 1,000 foot, then they'd move up to like 1,500 to 2,000, and they went all the
Yeah.
way up to where look like it looked like they was almost next to the moon,
Huh.
and
Interesting.
then they came back down, and every place that they see, I see them stopped. When I go back and compare where they're at now
Hmm.
versus where they were then,
Hmm.
they're where they enters those silk whatever the heck it is. They
That
intercross
stuff. Yeah.
like they're like it's where they intercross to make a corner, and it's like they're doing something right there. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's tie. It looked like a cloud they was dragging over it. However, you could see six big round things in front of it, and you could see
Hmm.
tethered lines going back to what appeared to be a bar, and they were pulling it up over that grid thing. But then it looked like it tore, and they stopped. One went right back to the looked like it did some repair, and then it carried on,
Carry on.
and,
So
and it
these
pulled
things,
all the way over.
apparently, it seems like this is Encounters, the spiritual UFO talk show, the number one talk show on social media. My guest is Cory this morning, and we're not, like I said, we're not always on in the morning. We're on at 11 o'clock at nightly with a pretty large audience, and I appreciate everybody coming here finding the show. So as you're talking about this, it's extraordinary what he's talking about. So you haven't been physically, some people say they've been abducted and have physical things happen to them. You have not physically had a physical encounter with whatever this is, be it whether it's military. The military, I think, knows about it. The Air Force probably knows about it. And now the question would be, and I don't expect you to know the answer, do you think that the Air Force Base or the military are monitoring what's going on in your area? Like they're like observing this, they know what it is, but they're not saying anything.
There's nothing here. there's a refinery in town that's on the other side of the closest town I live to. But it's all the way over there. But they're not just here; they're all over southeast Kansas. I went to
Southeast
Joplin.
Kansas.
Yeah, I went to Joplin, Missouri a couple of months ago. You can see them in the sky over there. I go into Oklahoma. You can see them down in the sky down there. There's a lady friend on one of these Facebook sites. That I don't remember what it's called now. I think it's a private group though, not site,
Yeah.
but group
Okay.
that is posting stuff pretty much nightly down there now. They are.
Really?
It is saturated over here. I mean, saturated.
Hmm. It's a boggles my mind. I've never heard a story like this on my show, where Southeast Kansas and Oklahoma, this area you're talking about, there must be something really happening in terms of possibly could there be now if it's not the military, then it has to be extraterrestrial. If extraterrestrial, do you think there maybe is a secret extraterrestrial base somewhere in that area, or do you think there's a what do you call an opening or portal that they have in that they've set up an invisible portal where these craft are coming from a bigger ship that's unseen and they're sending unmanned craft down to do whatever they're doing?
I've wondered if there's been a portal here because there was a well, there's some other series of pictures and on my Facebook deal that you can I was taking a friend home the same night that the we got pictures of the UFO 4 foot over the top of the shop. I didn't know they took these pictures, but we left and I had to drive 25 miles one way to get them there and then back home. My gas light was on before I left. Well, when I
Yeah.
got home, I pull up around my circle driveway. Like I say, my driveway's probably 400. Well, by the time I get all the way around the circle driveway, it's 500 feet. But where
Mm.
they were putting that grid at, in almost the exact same spot where I stepped on that silk, my truck just dies. I mean, just kills
Really?
over like I lost all electronics. Well, I change everything in it. I'm pretty mechanically inclined. I've built race cars
Hmm.
and I do all my own stuff. I run
Okay.
heavy equipment at all of it. But uh, my truck just dies. I got my scanners out and my readers, and we run everything, and it's telling me that throttle positioning sensor. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get one. I put three different ones on it. I changed the throttle body. I changed injectors. I changed fuel pump,
Hmm.
not but a few weeks before then. I checked fuel rail pressure. Everything's excellent. I should have been totally out of gas. I hit my fuel rail
Hmm.
and still got what I think's gas, so I'm not paying no attention. Well, I didn't. I hear my phone going off, but I don't pay no attention to it because I'm pissed because my truck won't run, and I
Right.
gotta go to work the next morning. Well, when I
Yeah.
finally said forget it and come down and sit down, I open my phone up and I see these pictures, so I start going through them. She got a picture of a big cloud, and I could see it. I remember seeing the cloud, but it circles across the highway, and then it comes right back across the other way, and it comes in. It appears to be about a foot wide and as tall as you can see, and goes
Yeah.
right into the passenger side of the truck.
Oh my
The whole,
gosh.
the whole
Right
cloud.
into the passenger side.
Yeah, the whole cloud goes. Yeah, I mean, look on my Facebook. If I have no
Okay.
reason to like nobody on this crap, but
Now,
whenever it
were you sitting, Corey, in the truck when that happened?
we were driving. I was
You were
taking her home.
driving.
Yeah, we were actually
So you're
driving back
driving,
up.
and the cloud comes through the
Yes.
the truck right through
Well, no, it
that's
don't come through the truck. It goes like into the engine bay. But what
engine bay.
happened?
Okay.
What I finally determined was I ended up after a month of fighting this crazy thing, literally every single day, all day long, replacing everything that's still not running.
Mm-hmm.
I go ahead and drop the tank because that's the
Mm-hmm.
only other thing I had left to do. When I dropped
Mm-hmm.
that tank, I should have been, if anything, bone dry out of there because my gas
Right.
light was on before I left here. And
Right.
it's not going to drive another 50 miles if my light's already on. But
Yeah.
when I dropped that tank, I pulled out of that gas tank nothing but pure water, water that didn't even smell like gas. I would have drank every bit of that water.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
that's what's weird.
Amazing.
But I've
Yeah.
been Facebook Live on there. I had 7 clouds come down on me at like 7:30 in the morning. Within
Mm-hmm.
less than 2 minutes, they'll come down. We've had them do it at night. I've had people here that had them do it at night. We've seen the sky shift. I called one of my military brothers that live up here north of me. I've had him come down here because this particular day, after about 3 or 4 months of this, I couldn't deal with it no more. And I
Now,
told
when you
him, I
say,
mean,
let me stop you. You're saying there's a lot of information. I have to stop you because I always want to pick your brain because when I talk to people, I get things when your stories are told. So you talked about the clouds coming down, the sky was shifting. Now, can you tell us, the viewers, when you say the sky was shifting, what do you mean? What happened to the sky?
man, it was so weird. But there was a big square, and I watched it for probably 30 minutes. But it was a big square, and it had a few clouds in the sky, but nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a lot of blue sky. But all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, it was a box that I'm gonna say 50 by 50, maybe 100 by 100. I don't know. There was actually two
Yeah.
of them, but
Mm-hmm.
you would see it just like go forward, and then it would back up, and then it would go forward.
Huh.
But if it went forward, it came back half the distance as it went forward, and then it'd go
Yeah.
back forward again, and it kept doing that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there'd be this blackish gray stuff that would come out of it that I'd tell
Mm.
everybody it looks like brownies. It's on a cookie sheet or in a cake pan that you're fixing to put in the oven. It's not cooked, and you go to
Yeah.
dump it. It just kind of rolls off. It don't splatter. It just rolls up into the end of it and gooey. That one looked like that. But the next time, it was more of a light whitish gray,
Mm-hmm.
and it rolled out like it was the water at the bottom of Niagara Falls.
And this is in the sky above you, correct?
Yes, sir. This was a I'm gonna say a quarter mile south of me. The
Mm-hmm.
funny thing was the very next day, literally the very next day, on both sides of the highway, I'm gonna say for 17, 18 miles that I know of for sure,
Okay.
quarter mile on each side of the highway, every tree, everything was dead. And I mean to the point it was powder.
Really?
The trees were powder. The leaves
So
on the trees were just powder.
whatever was released in the sky from whatever this was, killed these trees.
Yes. And it would burn your
That's not
skin.
good.
It would burn your
Really, it's
skin.
not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, it
It's not
wasn't
good
good.
at all.
No, and I
Nothing
called this
positive
guy
about
here
that.
because by that point I couldn't deal with it. I was here
Yeah.
by myself all the time. I mean, my four German shepherds was so scared to death one time that they would ran inside and hid and would not come out and was trembling horribly.
Really.
So I was done. I told them that day that I either needed to have them take me to Osawatomie, which is our state mental hospital, or
Mm-hmm.
that day I already had my letter written. I was going to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do it no more. I couldn't take
Now let
it.
me ask you a question. And I'm not telling you to move anywhere, but let's say you said to yourself, you know what? I love living here, but I'm going to move to Arizona or something. Or I'm going to move to New Mexico. Do you think whatever's doing this is going to follow you to wherever you go?
Well, I know for a fact that one of my buddies I helped move up to Lawrence, Kansas, town I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's 100 and something miles away from me. I've
Mm-hmm.
left here, and four of the triangles, two different sizes. They come in pairs, so there's two different. There's a smaller one in the next size up, and the thing that everybody tries to say is Orion's belt followed me. Orion's belt would be in between 100 to 200 feet off the ground. It'd be
Mm-hmm.
100 foot to the driver's side of me. I was headed northbound, but the road's curved, but it was
Mm-hmm.
to the west of me, anyways. If there was no cars coming, it would come down. If there was cars coming or obstruction or obstruction, it would go back up a little bit and it'd come right back down,
Mm-hmm.
all the way up there. I stayed up there for 3 days, and he
Mm-hmm.
sat right there on the back side of the deal. We had a
Mm-hmm.
party there with uh we'll just say a country star there, and
Yeah.
we're all jamming out. I go out back, the triangles come down while all of us are there.
Really. Now, and everybody there, including the country store, saw this, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh hell, I got it all over. I've lost so many friends that they tried to say that I was doing this and I was doing that, and I'm like, okay, well, you've known me for 25 years. You know I'm not a BSing kind of guy. You know I don't.
Right.
It's
So let me
easy.
ask you a question. Um, I work with, as you probably don't know my show too much, I work with positive star beings of light. I work with the Astro
Uh-huh.
Command, which is very, they're the good people. We are well, I've been, before there was any internet, I was a contactee in the 60s with space people that had light blue outfits on, and they were in my cul-de-sac for a while. And I went upstairs and for no reason, when I was a kid, saw their ship and they telepathically communicated with me. And
Cool.
I've had many positive sightings. So when I hear your story, I also want to help you. So it's not just for me just hearing your story.
I'd like to
This
know
is going
what
to
it
be
is.
so. How would you like? And this is going to be an interesting scenario if I choose to go this path. And some of you know where I'm thinking right now. So first, do you protect yourself like with a Christ? I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking when I use the word
Well,
Christ
I'm
and
not a
frequency. I'm
religious
talking.
person. I got a, I
No,
got a,
that's
I got a Almighty Creator, but
yeah,
religion's about
yeah.
money.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not talking.
Yeah,
So
Jesus
I'm not
was.
talking about religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hear me out. I'm not talking about 3D religion. I'm busting the matrix on all that. So
Yeah.
when I talk about Christ, I talk about Christ from a star cosmic understanding of Christ, not the earth-based stuff, which is
No,
all
I
religion.
I just talk about my higher power, my Creator, our Creator.
Okay. All right. So how would you like to try to prevent that stuff from happening to you?
Well, I don't know that I want to prevent it. I just want to know what it is and why.
Okay, so you want to know what it is. Okay.
We'd sit
But
out here
when you
and
mentioned
talk
about
with them. I'd
when
sit
we
out here
talked
and
about the
talk with them
trees,
one night for 5 hours, and we would communicate. And they would go. They
really?
would. They would brighten their. Well, it was the light that they kept. I was trying to get stuff done because I work. I'm self-employed, so I may have to work all night outside sometimes, especially with having a farm and
Mhm.
taking care of that stuff and then all the other
Yeah,
stuff.
of
Yeah.
course.
So you never know if I'm inside building something outside or have to go outside getting it. But they would always drop down on me. So after this all happened and we shot at them, I always walked around with an AR-15, um, at least a 22 250, and my judge on my hip, always.
Right, but
And
you said you
usually I come
communicated
in with,
with them. Can you tell?
yeah. Well,
You
when I
mentioned
went,
you
I-
can you tell us what that is?
yeah, well, I went up front of my shop out where that I had no protection because since then I won't be out far away from anything. I make sure there's a tree there or a roof over my head, something. Or if I have to be out farther, I take my truck with leave my door open. So, and I'm
Hmm.
always looking up, and I usually will have somebody around if I have to do that so that they can watch above me for me if I got to stay with my head down. But I walked out there because
Hmm.
I had no choice to get out it. I knew there was no protection. Well, I see a craft land across my neighbors, and I was watching the yard light that they have over there, and it got bright and it looked funny, and then there was this. It looked like a rainbow color wheel that just kept
Hmm.
spinning round and round and round and round,
Hmm.
and it got big. It got real big, and all of a
Hmm.
sudden it. I kept on. Since then, I keep my yard light shut off. I keep it pitch black because for
Yeah.
one, I see better at night, but I can see them better because they
Yeah.
won't. They usually do not come down in the whole visible form.
Right.
They come
So I
down.
think
It looks like the
people are
triangles. It looks like three stars coming down,
triangles.
but
So
they're different
people are
color. Each
wondering
point's a different color.
different color. People are wondering, and this is what I'm really trying to help and figure out here on encounters. So he's been having these things happen for 2 years. The part that bothers me is that vapor or whatever it was that came down on the trees and killed the trees. That wasn't a positive thing whatsoever. We know that.
There's been a
There's no
lot of people dying
positivity
with
there.
lung cancer since then too.
Right. See, there's nothing positive about that. This is what I'm trying to say. So even though you haven't been physically yourself hurt by this thing that's happening, I'm not getting the vibe that these, even though they haven't touched you, the fact that these trees died is not good. There's
Well,
nothing
they came
positive
back.
about it.
That's what's weird is everything died. I mean, it was brown like somebody just came through aerial sprayed everything,
Hmm.
and the very next day
Do you
they're
think?
dead.
Do you
I'm
think it
shocked.
was Do you think it was extraterrestrials, or do you think it was our government secretly using something on these trees?
Whatever it was that was across the highway that was dumping, that's whatever it was. I don't know. I think it was a
Yeah.
two-part deal with the blackish gray and the whitish gray stuff. But literally,
Yeah.
the next day, one of my friends that lives in Coffeeville, Kansas, calls me after she's seen me talking about it live on Facebook, and
Hmm.
she says, "Cory, that explains what happened to my tomatoes. Because yesterday, my starter tomatoes is about 18 inches tall, were gorgeous,
Yeah.
just full, juicy, bloom or
Yeah.
start." And said this morning when I come out here, they are so freaking dry, it just turns to
Yeah.
powder.
See, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this because I listened enough to know what I'm going to say here. I think it's, I don't like to use the word secret military, Air Force operations, or whatever. I
Um,
think it's to do with our government. I think
well,
that
if it,
they're doing something there that they shouldn't be doing. I
Okay.
think they're the ones who. I think they killed the trees.
Well, they came right back. A month later, they bloomed right back like they never had anything wrong with them, and they were healthier than they were before then. Everybody kept
That's
trying
kind
to
of.
say it was because of the drought. I'm like, it wasn't the damn drought. My trees, I got willow trees on my pond, and
Mhm.
they were gorgeous the day before, and I still had water in my pond. The
So
next
you're
day,
saying that
they're
the trees
dead.
came back. How long did it take the trees to come back?
Well, the majority of them came back, I'm going to say within a month to 6 weeks. The
Really?
majority of them. Yeah. That's what was another thing that blew our mind because, but in everything, like I had some shrubs planted. The one shrub, and they were kind of under a tree. The south side of the tree turned yellow and died, or the leaves died. The north side, it was still green, still looked pretty.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks later, you couldn't tell. Actually, the south side looked greener than the north side did. But that
Mhm.
shrub that was out there that took whatever that was burning our skin,
Yeah.
um, that shrub died. It turned yellow
Yeah.
overnight and it was dead.
Yeah. See, this
Uh,
is what I think. This is what I think, Corey. I think they're testing because someone mentioned in the comments here. It's a rural area. They're testing something.
but
I think.
there's people that live right up and down here though, and I keep track of it. And there's been nobody died. However, there was a lot of complaints about the livestock not rebreeding, dogs not rebreeding,
Yeah.
uh, menstrual cycles for women being different.
See, yeah, that's
Uh,
not good.
yeah, it was definitely different, but they just kept doing there. But if this is the case, and it's a government, and trust me, I don't sleep at night being out here by myself anymore.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even with five full grown German shepherds, and someone's crazy, I don't sleep at night no more with that,
Yeah.
unless my
No.
body just shuts down and I'm toast, and then whatever happens happens. But I won't know
Yeah.
it, so it won't matter. But
Huh.
I don't sleep at night because of what happens. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, I
if
wouldn't
it was
sleep at
our
night either if
government,
I were in your shoes.
this is the way I see it. As many as there is of those big round ones with the tentacle looking things on it, and as high as they are and what they're doing, and as many triangles, but they're not just triangles. They got some rectangles, they got some squares, and they got the
Hmm.
round ones.
Hmm.
And they have the round ones. And we've seen some pretty big round ones in the daytime. The first time I seen them, actually, and even what even got me looking at this was I got a phone call from a lady about 2 weeks prior to that night I got burnt by that stuff.
Yeah.
About 11:30 at night in a town that's I don't know 15, 16 miles west of me.
Hmm.
And she said, Cory, are you home? I said, yeah, I'm just sitting here chilling. Why? So, well, you go outside. Oh, okay. Why? What's going on? So, well, there was just a little airplane that sounded like it was having trouble, and I thought it was going to hit the top of my house. And she lives
Hmm.
in town. She lives in town, and if it was going to hit her house, it'd have wiped out half the town before it hit it. But it didn't make no sense to me. But she said there was something going on with it, and it should have been out by your place by now. Well, you go out and
Hmm.
see if you can hear anything or see anything or hear any sirens or anything and let me know. So I said, yeah, I was going to let the dogs out to go potty anyway. So let me put my boots on. I'm going to go out there. So I just kept her on the phone and I'm sitting there looking around and I'm like, and listening. And it's pitch, it's quiet, pitch dark. Don't
Hmm.
hear nothing, don't see nothing. And I tell her, we talked probably 15 minutes, but all of a sudden I see a white and a red light come up out of the sky. And I'm watching it. And I'm a SBCA certified technician. I've owned a satellite company for years. Well, I sold it, but I'm
Hmm.
still a certified technician.
Yeah.
I've dealt with satellites, so
Okay.
I know where satellites are. I know what they look like. I know what they're about. All that good stuff. But
Yeah.
it was a weird light. It wasn't moving. It was just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, that sucker went just as far south as I could see within a split second and just stops. I mean, dead stop. And then it sits there for a few seconds, and it looked like it was spinning, kind of slow
Hmm.
in a round circle kind of way, and it
Yeah.
stopped, and then it comes right back. And I bet it, if I could have had the GPS location on that sucker whenever it took off, it hit that
Yeah.
same exact spot as it left on, just as
Wow.
quick as it left. But then it sit there for a little while, did that round stuff, came down a little ways, and then shot straight up in the air, just as
Hmm.
quick as it went south.
Someone's asking Michelle. Was there any tests done on the trees when this thing happened? Did anybody take samples or bring it to a science lab and test the whatever happened to the trees? Did anybody do any tests?
Well, I need to get with our extension agent, um, our agriculture extension agent, because I live in it's all agriculture here. You either got cattle or goats, horses, or not horses. They don't consider that
You mean
agriculture.
cows? You
Yeah,
got cows?
cows, pigs, goats,
Okay.
farmland, all of it. You got
Mhm.
you got some houses right here along the highway, but right behind them houses are pastures and farmland, farm ground,
I
and
got you.
even right up
Interesting.
here. I'm in rural Kansas. It's God's country, so it's
Yeah.
I've my nearest neighbor is like a quarter mile away, so you
Yeah.
know I can jam my
Well,
music
this is
on.
it.
Don't have to worry
Well,
about
I know
nobody else.
you need to come on my show tonight at 11 o'clock. My big show, which is at 11 p.m. I'm going to put this. We're going to be signing off in a few minutes because I have to leave. But this show is being recorded now. It's going to be on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News on YouTube. Is where all my shows are that are recorded from here at TikTok. Your story is amazing. I'm absorbing the information. I'm trying to figure things out, and
Go check out my
I
Facebook page, and I just shared one from back in, I think it was October 11th of 2002, and that's that headless guy that was on my roof.
mhm,
I mean, you can see where his head's chopped off. If you do it frame by frame, you can see the collar on his shirt.
yeah,
You can see his hand reach out and grab it because it's bouncing around, and it just stops, comes to him, stops. He bends down or steps forward, bends down, and grabs it.
that's pretty
And
weird.
then he stepped out of frame, and I couldn't see it. But yeah,
That's very
there's
weird.
some freaky stuff. I bet there some of them you can't really see. A lot of stuff you'll have to blow up because I've got a telescope, but and it's supposed to do pictures, but you got to use your phone. But
Yeah,
it's so hard to set up, and I'm not about to have my head buried in that thing
no.
when they
So
come down as close as they do. But
so
they have
I'm thinking, Cory, and you're a great guest. Everyone's finding your story amazing. I find it amazing. I've never heard of anything for 2 years. He's having all this happen every single day.
snow,
That's
rain, wind. It don't
I'm
matter.
not, it doesn't even matter, right?
Does not
So
matter.
here's what I'm suggesting. I have certain things I'm able to do from a non-terrestrial standpoint, and I'm thinking whether I should do it or not, as I'm here live. I'm
I just want to
thinking,
know. I just want to know, but I want people to be aware too. I've already, like one of my good buddies told me from Missouri last night, said, Cory, keep posting it, keep spreading the word. It needs to come out. It has to come out. Your information is extremely valuable. You need to get this word out, no matter
and
what.
also
At
a
all costs.
Truth Duo, come on my show at 11 tonight. Truth Duo, you caught something, they're saying, someone here, we caught something 2 days ago on TikTok, glowing light floating across the sky. Check it out. Truth Duo will be on at 11 p.m. tonight. Come on our show, on our Encounters Nighttime show.
Central,
Cory,
East Standard.
we're Eastern, and it's 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 West Coast.
Yeah, I'm Central, so
Yeah.
no biggie. I'll be awake.
Yeah, so I'm a definitely, I have the ability. I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command, which I talked about,
Uh huh.
and I am in constant communications off planet with the space people on the ship.
Cool.
So I'm thinking we're going to test the waters here, and we're going to send a ship over there.
I'm excited.
And the ship we send over there is a very high frequency. These other craft, or whatever they are, will not be able to do anything to the Astro Command ship. The Astro Command ship can probably interfere with whatever they're doing and probably stop it. I'm
What?
not
Well,
saying that's going to happen, but they
well,
can.
and as long as that's not our government, they haven't brought me any harm. I just want to know what they are.
Right,
I don't even need to know exactly what they're doing, as long as they're not bringing harm to our people.
right. But there's a concern I have about what's going on, and I get
There's
a
a
sense there
concern.
there is
There's
a concern. So
because
we're going to send.
it
Go
is
ahead.
so unreal, man. So unreal.
We're going to send a spaceship over. People that are just watching my show saying, "What does he mean he's going to send a spaceship over?" Anyone who knows me and understands who I am knows that we're going to do this. And so we're going to send a spaceship over on a cloak ship to monitor what's happening there and if there's any negative energy there from an extraterrestrial standpoint, it will be forced to leave if it is in fact negative. Just to let you know.
They better be prepared because when I'm talking there's craft, I'm not talking 3 or 4 craft, man.
They don't care if there's 100 of them. These
Well,
Astar command ships come from the highest levels of light. They are able to deal with any negative energies and get rid of them in 2 seconds. Once they get rid of them, send them back wherever they came from.
yeah. If
Trust
it
me
was
on this.
if it was negative though, I started figuring out the man hours that they had over a year ago,
Yeah,
and even if they paid them $5 an hour each, they were in the
yeah,
billions of dollars, billions.
yeah.
Our
Well, we'll find
government
out. You're gonna you're
says
gonna
it ain't
you're,
going to
you're
do
gonna
that.
feel some different energies, some beautiful energies coming your way, and they're just gonna monitor the situation cloaked. They won't be
Now
able
I'm
to be
ready.
seen by these other energies. They won't be able to notice the Ashtar Command that they're even there. But when
Well,
we
I'm not
send
worried about
them, they're going to monitor what's going on in that area of Oklahoma and that area logistically. So you'll feel some things. You're going to feel a certain energy that's different than what you felt, and we're just going to monitor the situation to see what they're up to.
it. I like it. Yeah, because hell,
All
I've
right.
even thought I might mow my little field back here where they can land behind everything and no, so nobody's seen him. But they ain't come in, borrow tools, or play some pool, drink a beer. I said, hell, if
Yeah.
you got some pretty green women, bring them. I'd like to see one. I
I
mean,
got you. Well, your story's been great, man. It's an honest story. It's a real story. And I appreciate you and everybody here appreciates your story. This is what this show's about, right? We're here to help people. And yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate
go,
your story so much.
yeah, go check Cory S. Truitt out on Facebook. And I mean, there's several thousand pictures there, but I've got thousands of hours of video and
Thank you, Gene.
thousands of pictures.
And just to let people know, our show usually is on at night, not during the morning, like today. So catch us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 o'clock West Coast tonight. We're on usually nightly. We have a big audience at night, and we're trying to come on in the morning for new people that don't know about our show. We've been on since for about over a year on TikTok, and we are the top #1 UFO social media talk show on social media. So I want to thank all the new people. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you
Yeah,
everybody for watching.
I'm a new
Corey, have a
guy.
great day.
Yeah, I'm a new
You
guy. I
know,
just found you this morning right before I
you
commented.
see, I'm glad I came on. There was a reason. So I'm glad you
Yeah,
got to
there's a
find
reason.
out my show now. You know,
Yep.
uh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
cool. I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to you. You're a new friend of the show, and we will send some protection over there just to monitor. For actually, we're going to let the ship stay there for about 5 days straight out, cloaked, monitoring what these things are. And
I don't worry about me. I care about the people. You know, they're
no, they care about the people too. That's why we're sending the
yeah.
ship there
Me,
to make
I've
sure that
lived
there's
my
no hanky
life.
panky.
Yeah, I've lived my life. I have no bucket list left. I have nothing. I don't want to die, but yet I will gladly sacrifice to save them if that's what the case is. I don't care.
Well,
So
you're good. Okay, brother. You're going to be good. So we're going to help you out and just monitor the situation and see what they're up to and who they are. And if anything weird happens that's not good, the Ashtar Command will intercede, and whatever that is, if it is that, it will not be allowed to do anything. So just want to let you know we're definitely going to give you some protection, brother.
and, well, and I've like I tell everybody else around here, I have an open door policy. If you want to call BS on it, get a hold of me. You're more than welcome to come and check it out for yourself. I have
Uh,
nothing to hide whatsoever, and the more people that knows, if it is our government, the less chance they can hide it.
well, you've been
So
honest. You've been an honest, open book, and that's what this is all about. Being out, coming out of the closets, sharing the truth, and no one here on our show knocks anybody down because this show is about cosmic disclosure, spiritual UFO areas, and we've had people that have been abducted. We've had people that have great experiences. We have all kinds of stuff that we deal with here in terms of the ET area. So,
it's
all
been
right,
cool, but it's just I'm a person that likes to know what's going on. They don't bother me, except
yeah,
for every time I go outside, they come down. Anytime I bring somebody out, they get pissed. They come down quicker. But
yeah. There's something.
they've stopped dropping a lot of drones, and they changed drones, and they've even put when my truck broke down, they even sent a drone during the day that was probably 3 foot in diameter that was surrounded like in a black diesel cloud.
Huh?
And of course, I cussed that one out and told him he's a dumbass because you could still see the drone.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, yeah. So part of we'll find out what's going on, but part of me think there could be secret government operations working with certain extraterrestrial areas or not. I haven't been able to figure that out yet on your story. I'm gonna try to figure that out. But right now, I'm gonna thank you for being here. I'm gonna definitely absorb the story more in my head here and try to figure a few things out. But I want to thank you, man, for coming on Encounters.
hey man, I appreciate you having me, and I'm glad we're finally getting the word out because I've called History Channel. I've tried to call the local news, and of course they've got some stuff down there, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Well,
Everybody wants
see,
to talk
that's
about
why this show is what it is. This show is
exactly.
number one social media UFO talk show because I come from my background in NPR radio, and that's where I do my radio show for 21 years. So I'm on NPR, and I'm on here, so I'm an officially a professional talk show host. But I deal at being a contactee. I've had positive experiences, but I know not everybody's story is positive, and that's what the show's about, to help people out too, as well as hear their stories. Hey, thanks for being here. Have a great day, everybody. Join us tonight at 11 p.m. for Encounters, our nighttime regular show here on TikTok. All right? There you
Thank you,
go.
sir.
All right, Cory, take care, man. Have a good day.
All right, bye. You too.
Okay, let's see if I can do this here. Yeah, we go. I want to thank Cory for being here. I want to thank everybody who found my show this morning. And I know there's a lot of people that have never heard of it. Now you know, there's a real show on here called Encounters, and it is the number one spiritual UFO talk show. Please follow and like and share. If you want to gift us our mission work and what we're doing here, you can do TikTok gifts. You can go to my Venmo account on my Cash App on Venmo, donate whatever you want on my Venmo this morning. That would be certainly appreciated. Become a subscriber. And as a subscriber, you're helping us with our C5 night vision equipment project. We're raising money for that. And hey, Chesno, thank you. So that's Chesno was one of my moderators. That is my Cash App to go to on my main page. And you can do $5, $10, or $15. That would be certainly appreciated. Thank you, Lacey. That is one of the really most incredible stories I've ever heard. 2 years of every day and night. I mean, I can't even imagine that, you know? That story blows me away. I'm still going to have to figure it out. So literally, my Cash App, do a donation on Venmo right now. We appreciate it. Chesno, my moderator, one of my moderators pinned it there so you can know where to go on my main page. But we have to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for the gifting. We'll be on again tonight at 11 p.m. Take care, everybody. And remember, keep your eyes to the skies.